Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Had to jump in here with a little bit of Morning Wood, a character that's kind of fascinating me right now. I'm really enjoying watching this actor do his thing on a show that's becoming one of my favorites to tune in to week. And last night I actually got the update or the notification that the finale for season one for Swagger is was available last night, but it came to me like 10 minutes before the Thursday night football game with the Los Angeles Chargers and Kansas City Chiefs. So I didn't watch it, but actor Sean Baker, who plays Coach Naim on Swagger, I'm just really enjoying this character. And I put in the title, he's the sixth man of the series. It's a lot of different storylines going on the show. Obviously, we focus on Jace Carson. We focus on his mother. What's her name? Jen? Yeah, Jenna. We focus on his mother, played by Chanel Azora. We focus on Isaac, who's O'Shea Jackson Jr. We've looked at several of the teammates, the home life of several of the teammates of Jace Carson. And then we get to Coach Naim. So that's why I said he's the sixth man. And I just think he's doing a lot of great work in some smaller spots. And I just like what I'm seeing from him. So I wrote down a couple of bullets, six of them to go with six man. And I think one thing that I really appreciate about Coach Naim is I see his faith in how he comports himself. We've seen him pray a couple of times. He just acts like a stand-up guy. He plays his role as the assistant coach, as a friend. I like what I see in him. I think it's good to see a variety of different types of black men in these shows that we watch. We don't always need to see the same figures played out on every show. Number two, he's aware of who's watching him. Being that he comports himself with his faith out front. They had that term on there, 24-hour man, was something that Coach Isaac and Jace Carson fell out about because Carson felt like Coach was a hypocrite about 24-hour man. But to this point, we haven't seen anything foul about Coach Naim. And like I said, he's in here with these 15 young men, and everything he just seemed, he's not, he's giving a good example for the young guys in a impressionable moment or stage of their lives. Number three, he's an excellent listener. He's very observant and he speaks up when needed. I'm gonna just leave that there because I kind of run into these other bullets or kind of could be sub bullets of that one. He's also a great father. We see that Coach Isaac is just becoming a new father with the arrival of his daughter a couple of episodes ago. I don't believe we've seen Naim's, if he's single or if he has a wife. I don't think I've seen a wife or what his marital status is. We know he's Musa's father. But he's a natural communicator. When they had the scene, or a couple of times throughout the season, he's had to advise Isaac how to handle the situation. When they were looking at some funding for the team coming from Leicester, and Isaac didn't want to do it, but they needed that money, or they could have used that money. When Meg approached them about combining the teams and whatnot, and coming aboard for Meg to handle the business side of the team. He's talked to Isaac about getting ready to be a new father. He's talked to Isaac about being a husband. He's talked to Isaac about dealing with having a star player such as Jace Carson. So a lot of us don't have a trustworthy or a mature enough friend or someone that can offer us sage advice from time to time and help us, quickly work through pros and cons of a situation to make a good decision. And I think we see that in Coach Naim. I also really appreciated the situation where his son in this most recent episode, I believe it was the ninth episode, Musa finally has a breakthrough with the young woman that he's the young girl that he's interested in, and she invites him to a virtual dinner to meet her parents. And Musa, who's a good talker and one of the leaders, vocal leaders on the team, being the point guard, that's a plus. But he's nervous about meeting the young woman's parents, and he asked his dad, what should I do? And I just loved it. It was a very natural, exchange between the two, father and son. And he was just like, "Hey, son, let me give you this bit of advice. If you get in any conversation, get the other person talking about themselves, and everything will go perfect from there." And that's just phenomenal. That is phenomenal advice because that's the truth. I mean, people love to talk about themselves. They like to be heard. They want you to give them praise and and pat them on the back for what they're doing. And so that was just awesome advice from father to son. In Musa carrying out that advice, Musa starts to understand that his girlfriend's father is a major crime detective since they relocated to that area, and he's actually working the case that from Jason and Musa, what's the other kid, Drew, and the big man on the team. They attacked Crystal's coach for sexually assaulting her, and so Musa is able to put it on to the rest of the teammates that, hey, this we're not out of the woods with that situation. Going back to Coach Naim, the number 5, he always shows up. His commitment is impeccable. He's always there. He's at all the games, at all the practices. He's not, I'm running late, I might can't make it tonight, I know I said I was going to do something. He's always on his post. And I think what Isaac is trying to do, you can always use an individual like that standing alongside you and helping you in whatever you're trying to do. He's always present. Like I said, he sees what's going on. I mentioned a minute ago, he speaks up when there are obvious blind spots for Isaac. Isaac is not a perfect guy. He's working through some things himself. We're slowly learning about what happened in his past with that state championship game. But again, assistant coach Naim is aware of what's going on, and when he felt like Isaac wasn't doing the right thing, or maybe he was leading a little too heavy-handed, or maybe not giving one of the players enough attention, or just not saying the right thing in the moment, especially with the diner situation when they had the encounter with the police. And Coach Naim was like, "Hey, I gotta speak up on this. We weren't treated fairly there," and he had a good conversation with Isaac that I enjoyed seeing. The sixth and final one is, I just feel like his character represents a lot of us everyday brothers out here, that we may not see ourselves in a lot of these characters that people love and admire, and tweet about and rap about and all of this stuff. And I know it's not sexy. I know it's not an escape from reality and all of that. But again, I think his example is something that we need. I may have a partner that's going through some things, and seeing how Naim is a good sounding board for Coach Isaac. Maybe I could sharpen up my way that I listen to one of my partners, or I know when to put the jokes aside. If a brother is talking to me about his marriage or something, you can't say some cool stuff that you think that was real slick. Sometimes we gotta be honest with one another, and we gotta show some tough love. We gotta give each other some constructive criticism. We gotta call our partner out on his bullshit. It can't always be an act We can't always be in character. And so, you know, while it was cool to watch all the things that Ghost had going on Power, it's cool to see Franklin Saint build his empire in Los Angeles and all the stuff that the challenges that he led his team through to make all their money. Oh, that's great. But I don't sell drugs. I don't head up any organized crime organization. You know, I might have to give a brother some advice on something very simple. And so I just see this is some good reminders here in what I see from Coach Naim. So like I said, he's the sixth man of Swagger, Sean Baker. It's a lot of different actors on here that actually I'm seeing them for the first time, and I'm impressed by you know, what they're doing in the show. Christina Jackson, who plays Tanya, the wife of Isaac. She's been great in her little moments. We saw she took the young kid, Phil. She took him to go see his mother, who's incarcerated right now. And then she embraced him after they left the facility. You know, she was also instrumental in them welcoming Phil inside their home. And, you know, you heard Isaac tell him, you know, you got your big ass sleeping on my couch right now. So it's a lot of little things on here that I did not expect this show to, you know, to kind of flesh out the way that it has and be something that I'm looking forward to looking to on a week-to-week basis. Unfortunately, later on tonight, I'll be watching the season 1 finale, and it's a nice cliffhanger out there going into this show. And I want to see what they do, you know, if they're able to come back for season 2. But shout out to Sean Baker. Phenomenal job with, you know, bits and pieces, you know, small moments that he gets to shine, but he's making the most of it. Again, this is Pay Me No Mind Sports and Entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a phenomenal weekend. Peace.